I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs. Our burger week continues with a throwback recipe as I bring you the burger that won me my MasterChef White Apron. A gorgeous Greek lamb burger with a homemade tzatziki, quick pickled cucumbers, and a side of zucchini air fries. All this week, since we're declaring Memorial Day the unofficial cookout kickoff, I'm sharing my favorite burger recipes to give you some good grilling ideas for dinner. And today is also one of my favorite holidays. It's National and International Burger Day too. So what better occasion to bring you the burger where it all began? This Greek lamb burger that earned me the coveted MasterChef White Apron, and the Dinner DeeAs version is served with a homemade tzatziki sauce, some quick pickled cucumbers, and crispy air-fried zucchini fries, which is where we're gonna start off with. Really, really simple. Took off the top, took off the bottom, cut it right in half, went again down the half, and then just started cutting them in fours. I have really nice thick cuts here, and what's really nice about this is that you kind of have this fry, more like a steak fry, but it's really healthy than just having the potato and everything. So here, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these zucchini fries, I'm gonna lay them out on paper towels because I'm gonna salt them. I wanna salt them, one, to get a little bit of flavor to go in, but really what it's going to do, it's gonna pull the moisture out. Flavor go in, moisture come out. We could do this always in some batches too for your family, but a little salt going straight over. To pull out all of that moisture, and we could just let these sit. We're gonna about 10 minutes or so, and then you're gonna start seeing this paper towel really start to absorb. While this does its thing over here, let's go into the first steps for our tzatziki sauce. And all you're doing is you're just taking the cucumber, taking the box grater, and just grating it. Now here's where you can have a lot of fun here. This is just some English cucumber here. I think that this has got a nice little bite behind it, which is quite nice. But anything that you find at your local grocery store is going to be absolutely fine. And as you can see, it's got a lot of great moisture in this. It's going to be a great cooling flavor behind this and really makes for a fresh dish. Now you could buy the tzatziki at the that you see on the shelf and have it in the house and everything like that. But this right here, you can taste all the ingredients and you could really get a little sense of summer. Now I'm also going to salt this. Again, same principles apply. The salt is going to bring a little bit of flavor in. It's going to draw that moisture out. And what I like to be able to do is, because I have this bowl and I have a counter underneath it, all of it can just drain right out. To grab the recipe for my burger today, head to dinnerdeeas.com or get the phone out and point at the TV to scan the QR code down there in the corner of the screen. All that means is hold the phone so it sees the box in frame and in focus as if you're about to take a photo of it, and then a link to us will pop up on your phone. Now, we got zucchinis, we got cucumbers. We really need to have something that's going to give a nice little bit of a bite, a little crunch, and vinegar. This is really going to break down all these beautiful flavors. So let's start with a really quick pickle on this one here. So I'm going to just take some fennel seeds. I already have a preheated pan here. And all I want to do is just toast my seeds. So we've got a little bit of fennel going in, a little bit of mustard seeds. I'm going to throw in just a couple cloves of some garlic as well. I just want to awaken this. I want to just awaken my garlic a little bit. Now let's start actually bringing in some of what's going to be that vinegar provide. So we've got a little bit of some rice wine vinegar. We're going to throw in just a little bit of some crushed red pepper flakes. And here comes the pickling part to it. I like to do equal parts sugar and salt. And all I'm looking here now to do is to bring this together and to dissolve that salt and that sugar and activate all these beautiful, beautiful flavors. We're gonna take a quick break while this brine bubbles away. When we come back, we finish prepping the quick pickles, plus how to make your own simple tzatziki sauce ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're making Memorial Day last all week long as we bring you all burgers all week. Today is also a celebration of International Burger Day as I make the Greek lamb burger that earned me my MasterChef white apron with some simple extras that you can make to take it to the next level. A homemade tzatziki sauce plus quick pickled cucumbers and some air-fried zucchini fries. Before the break, we got going with our gourds, chopping zucchini like we were making steak fries, and then set them on a paper towel lined sheet tray to cover them with salt to get the moisture out so they end up nice and crispy. Then we did the same with grated seedless English cucumbers, salting them in a colander over a bowl to draw out the liquid, and finally making the brine for our quick pickles by toasting fennel and mustard seeds, adding garlic, then rice vinegar, red pepper flakes, and equal parts sugar and salt, letting that all dissolve during the break. And it's not done just yet. We're gonna add a little bit of some ground coriander going straight into our brine liquid here, and then some fresh dill. And all I want to do here, bring these flavors together so that way that it helps with that liquid, so keep moving around. And I can pour it straight over my pickles. And then just making sure that I just toss it. Now this is a quick pickle here, so I'm gonna just put this into my refrigerator here, and you can have this for about an hour or so. Anything longer, you're just gonna make really nice pickles, so there's no right or wrong on this one here, but we're gonna put these into the fridge for now. All right. Now, I salted this before as I was grating, and you could see how much liquid just came out, and it's still just dripping out of it. And that's a really good sign. The salt is doing exactly what it needs to do. Pulling some of that moisture out, giving me a little bit more flavor now inside what's happening. I'm gonna just take some paper towels, and what I wanna just do here is I just wanna push all of that zucchini to the side of my colander here, and just applying a little bit of pressure here to push out any little bit left that I have. To grab the recipe for my Greek lamb burger at our website, dinnerdeas.com, just scan the QR code down there to find us on your phone. If you're watching my MasterChef journey back in 2017, wow, it's been that long, you'll remember it was this burger. This was truly the burger that started this entire journey. I mean, I remember going out there to California, and they say, hey, you might be here for a week, you may be here for 3 months, pack accordingly. And I did just that. I was out there for 3 months. But it was the first time I saw Gordon Ramsay. You're practicing a little bit on your recipes, and you have to compete for your white apron. So here's my day to start working on that white apron burger. The doors open up, I walk in, and there is Gordon Ramsay, Ron Sanchez, and Christina Tosi. And you never get a chance to meet them. You just go straight into filming. And I start making this burger. And I'll never forget, he goes, Jeffrey, hold your burger. And so I'm freaking out. Like, this is Gordon Ramsay, first time I'm meeting him. I take my burger after he says, hold your burger. I start eating my burger. I'm literally eating the burger that Gordon Ramsay just said just to hold it. And he goes, I didn't tell you to eat it. I told you just to hold it. And I've got a big bite. I start chewing it. But it's really good, is what I tell him. He starts laughing, and then he hands me my white apron. And it has been that beautiful journey that has allowed me this opportunity to have so much fun with you at home, and for you at home, now to be able to make this burger. So I took my grated zucchini, I put it right into some Greek yogurt. This is really that foundation, that base here, that is just really, really nice. You already got a little bit of salt, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of some pepper. I'm gonna add just some olive oil. We're gonna add some lemon juice. We're gonna add some garlic. Some fresh mint. Some fresh dill. And we're just gonna bring this all together. Now this also is really nice because if you want to make some extra, you absolutely can. You can put this into a nice jar, put it in the refrigerator after you label it, and you can get some great usage out of this. This could last for about a month up inside your fridge there, and you could be able to come back and use it again. And if you wanted to, because of these zucchini fries that we're gonna be making up in a little bit, it's the perfect sauce to dip these bad boys into. We have to take another quick break. When we come back, we get air frying our fries and how to assemble our great Greek patties ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs, where it's Burger Week. Though what week isn't just right for the best burgers in the world? Today, we've got a patty with an international flavor as I revisit the Greek lamb burger that won over Gordon Ramsay. And I'm making it with a simple homemade tzatziki sauce, some quick pickles, and the potatoes, give them the day off. Let's try some zucchini fries. Before the break, I finished up the brine for the pickles, adding ground coriander and fresh dill, then pouring it over my thinly sliced cucumbers and let it all come together in the fridge while I finished the tzatziki. Squeezing out the last of the liquid from the grated cucumber with some paper towels, then mixing that with Greek yogurt, salt, pepper, olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, fresh mint, fresh dill, and let that all sit in the fridge too. Now, as we saw, a little salt went a long way because you could see how shiny that is off the camera. That is all that moisture that's being pulled out. That salt is really pulling all of that moisture out of our zucchini here, which is why I'm going to take a little bit more paper towels here and I'm going to pat them dry. I don't want that moisture to really come into play here within my dredging and ultimately on my frying. I really want to have a nice bite of crunchiness from our zucchini, but without all of that liquid. So I just put a little bit of some paper towels, patting them dry, and that's that. Now I've already started here with my dredging station, so it's always nice to have everything kind of ready to go in equal pans or bowls at the house to make it really easy. So we've got just some seasoned flour, really simple on this one here. It's just salt and pepper. And so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a few of my zucchini fries, throw them straight in. We've got my egg mixture here that I already brought to a very nice liquid consistency here. We're going to just toss these in. Salt and pepper. Now, if you want to use a Ziploc bag for any of this too, that also works really nice. It's an easier cleanup because you can just throw everything away. You make sure everything's already coated, shake it up, and you're ready to go as well. So either way works. We're going to throw these right into my egg mixture. Now, what I also really like to do, a nice little pro tip here, is that when I'm beating eggs, I actually like to use a hand mixer. I think the hand mixer really kind of helps me a little bit in making sure that it really starts to liquefy nicely, and that's really it. Now, while these kind of get there really fast, I'm going to throw in to just some unseasoned, now you can use seasoned breadcrumbs or not. I didn't because I wanted to show you some fun stuff over here. So we've just got some Italian seasoning, some garlic powder, some salt, some pepper, and just a little bit of some Parmesan cheese here. Now this is really nice because you could take your already done seasoned breadcrumbs that you might have already bought off the shelf. You can always jazz it up with a little bit more of those flavors, or buy unseasoned and have as much fun and as many different ingredients as you want. So we're going to take our zucchini now that's been inside our egg mixture, giving a nice little coating throughout, because this is going to really be the glue. That flour mixing with that egg. Now the egg mixing with our breadcrumbs. Now you could do a single dip of a dredge, you could do a double. All it's going to do is just going to make it extra crunchy, but it's also going to bring a little bit more of that breadcrumb to it. So sometimes I find that it gets a little bit too much. So is it necessary? No, but if you like it, you certainly can. It's yours. And I'm just going to kind of toss these in, roll them around a little bit, bringing my hands, kind of pat them in. I'm using gloves for this part of the process too, because it's an easier cleanup for myself and for you at home that's doing this. So we're going to just pat these in, rolling them around. Make sure you get everything coated. You want a really good coating and you really want to push it down. All right, now just like that, we've got our air fryer. I'm going to just put a little bit of a coating here of just some olive oil spray on the bottom. I'm going to give a couple more little tosses here, and I'm just going to add a little bit at a time here. What's nice about the air fryer is that the air is going to circulate, so it's going to make these really crunchy from all sides. If I put these straight onto a sheet pan, they're not going to really get that bottom to really come alive. And so they're not going to have that uniformity and that crunch factor. It's going to be nice and top on the top side, but that bottom is just not going to be able to really do that. And you might want to do this in batches depending on the size of your air fryer here. And I'm just going to do a nice little coating on the top here. I already have this preset for 400 degrees, and all I'm going to do is just press go. and for about 10 minutes is all that it really needs. All right, let's come on over here with our patties. You need a really good burger. You need really good meat. So we've got some ground lamb here, which is really, really nice for this entire dish. And this is really special, really simple to really go with. You can find this ground lamb at any kind of grocery store that you might be looking at. And so all I just did was added some shallots inside to a bowl that already had my ground lamb. I'm going to use the same exact breadcrumb mixture here that I had from before. So a little bit goes a long way. And this is going to help bring together these flavors with that egg. Again, same process that I use. I use a hand mixer to really liquefy it, and it makes for a nice little bit. So we've got now some fresh ingredients coming in. We've got some dill, which I absolutely love for this burger. We've got some mint, and this is out of this world fantastic. And just a little burst of some brightness. We've got some lemon zest. Now, I want the lemon zest because it's got all the essential oils. It's also drier. I don't want to add more liquid behind this burger. I want to really be able to, have a nice burger that has flavor, but not really liquid. So that lemon juice, not really a friend. Lemon zest all the way. And to make the recipe for these burgers, plus everything else that we've been making, go to dinnerdeas.com or just scan the QR code in the corner of the screen to find us with your phone. And don't forget, that's also where you can find the rest of our Burger Week recipes, plus a bunch of other ideas for great grilling to keep you fed all summer long. Okay. So I'm going to just take a nice, almost like a little bit more than a baseball here. And that's going to be about 1/4 pound. I can already feel that piece. If you want to measure this out, you absolutely can. But I know that that's going to be about that. I'm going to just push this around in my hand a little bit more to get a really good shape, because I'm going to just come over here, a little bit of an oil, coat my pan, get that nice little bit of smoke, because here comes the sear. A little salt. A little pepper. And then when we do that flip, that's when we're going to be able to season that side again. And now just a little kiss with the spatula, just to be able to get that nice burger shape, as now it starts to make that first sear on its first side. Oh, these smells already. One last bite before we finish up today's burger. When we come back, the order of assembly to make your buns look beautiful ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. We've been revisiting a classic burger I made for a certain Gordon Ramsay as we hit hump day on our Burger Week, my Greek lamb burger, the one that got me my MasterChef white apron, plus some simple sides which we finished during the break. I gave a quick pat dry to the zucchini I chopped earlier, which had been already sitting in salt to draw out as much moisture as possible. Then dipped them in some flour seasoned with salt and pepper, then egg, then finally with some breadcrumbs mixed with Italian seasoning, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and some Parmesan cheese. Got them all to the air fryer while I made our burgers with a little ground lamb, shallots, some more of the seasoned breadcrumbs, egg, salt and pepper, and fresh dill and mint, plus some lemon zest. Form them into patties, starting with a handful, about the size of a baseball. Flatten them in the pan and flip them once brown, adding some crumbled feta cheese. And during the break, I toasted up some brioche buns. Perfect vessel for a sandwich like this. These burgers are coming alive so well, so nicely. There is a science behind a burger spread here, my friends, and you have to start with bringing whatever type of, base that you're going to have at the bottom. So I have our tzatziki that really sits on the bottom here. Now, people always say, well, why that? It doesn't slide. I have found that it doesn't slide. So a nice coating over here of our tzatziki to really kind of cool all these flavors together down. Speaking of cooling, we're going to go straight into our pickles and pull just a few of them out and lay them right on top. What I like about this bite too is that because of that liquid base, kind of forms a little bit more flavor behind everything with that tzatziki, and it just kind of creates a nice bed. Now, again, I like to have a nice bite in everything, so it's perfectly centered. We got a little bit of some butter lettuce. This is really nice. It's a softer bite than what you might have from, say, iceberg or a romaine. And I like this because it just gives a nice subtlety of earthiness behind it, but it doesn't really kind of bring too much of that chew or too much of that bite out. Just the perfect amount that I find. And I just set it right on top. This is now going to allow for this burger that's got just a little bit of some melted feta cheese to sit right on top. Beautiful crust, a burger like that, absolutely fantastic. This is coming along so nicely, but not done just yet. We got our air fry zucchini fries, giving those potatoes a nice little bit of a break. Going a little healthy over here. And all we're gonna do is just take them straight out, have a little bit of fun with your arrangement, because this is where it all comes into play. Stack them up, get a little bit of height back onto that plate. I've got a little bit extra of that tzatziki that you can dip these into, and this is going to be the absolute best burger that you possibly can, because don't forget, grab my recipe for my Greek lamb burger and all these extras at dinnerdeas.com, or just scan the QR code to find us. And if you make it, send us a photo. I'm Jeff Philbin. See you next time with more ideas for dinner, as we call them, Dinner Dias.